Welcome to Alicia Today. So today I'm going to try to do a engraving on a canvas. So this is a canvas board, it's just a small one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to use some paint colors. I have 4 here. I have this light blue, white, black, and a tan color. I'm going to paint them in layers on one side to see how it engraves with the material test array. And then on this side, I'm going to leave this side just as is and see how that engraves as well. Okay, so let's get started. So the first layer I'm going to do, I'm going to put a little bit of water on my brush, and I'm going to do a white layer. And I'm just going to do it on 1/2 of the canvas. Go one direction, and I'm going to go this other way. And then I'm using just acrylic paint straight out the bottle. I'm not using spray paint. I've seen a lot of videos of using spray paint to do this, but I don't usually buy spray paint, and I don't really have like the all the stuff to go with that, like a respirator, and I don't really like to go outside if I don't have to do these type of projects. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this first layer dry, and then I'm going to move on to, I'm going to do the light blue next, and then the tin, and then the black to be the top layer. All right, so same thing, gonna dip my paintbrush in a little bit of water, and I'm gonna put the blue layer on next. So like I said, make sure that first layer has dried first. So like I said, make sure you go paint one direction first. And then once you get that one direction painted, then I just paint in the opposite direction as well, just to make sure I'm trying to cover as much of the canvas as I can. So now I'm going to do the tin. I probably could do maybe multiple layers of these, but this was just a test because I haven't done this before. So like I said, once I finish this little test array, just to see like how it turns out, like the settings and stuff, what I need to do to make sure that it looks the way it's supposed to, I guess you can say. And then I will work on like how many layers I need to do. So this third layer has dried, so I'm just gonna do this last layer of black. Just wet the little paintbrush. This is like a sponge brush, I should say. And then I'm just going to do the same process. Go down one direction and then do the opposite. All right, so this is the 4th layer of the black. So now we'll just move on to doing designs. I think I'm going to try to do, I've seen a lot of different things. Oops. I've seen a lot of different things to where people are saying to leave the image as how it is, or to do an invert. And then, so I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to do 4 different ones just to see how they all compare to each other. So let's go to that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make my materials test array. So I like to use hearts, as you guys know. So I'm just going to get the shape of the heart, put it on engrave, go here to array, materials test array. I'm going to leave it on the settings that it's already on. And then I'm going to go over here and push engrave. So I'm going to do 2 of these because I'm going to put one on the part of the canvas that I painted, and then the other one on the part that I did not paint. So same process, I chose a heart. I'm going to make sure it's set to engrave. Then I'm going to do array, material test array, leave all the settings, push engrave, and then I'm just making it smaller. And then I want to do an image too. So like I said before, I was going to try to do an image after I did the test array, but I just wanted to use up as much of the canvas as I could. So I'm just going to insert an image that I got, and I'm going to do it twice again. One for the non-painted side and one for the painted side, just to see how it turns out. Okay, so once we have all the images on here, we're going to move on to making the or marking the area on the canvas so that I can place all of the material test array. So these on each side and then the image on each side. All right, so let's go. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place my canvas. So just to clamp it in place. Trying to not cover as much of the canvas as possible. Okay. So once I do that, I'm going to place my laser over top of the canvas, and I'm going to then go here. Make sure you're clicked off of all of the things. Just click on the canvas itself and then go over here to hit this distance. What that does is it measures the distance from your material to the laser. So once you've done that, you want to start marking. So I have 4 areas on this one canvas that I want to mark. So I'm going to go here to start marking. I'm going to do rectangle, start marking. And then so the first thing that you do is you go to the top right corner of the place that you want to mark first. So I'm going to go about right there, and then you're going to hit this button. That's going to give you your first mark, so right here. And then you're going to go to the bottom, I should say the top, yeah, the top left, and then the bottom right. And then you're going to do the marking. So I'm going to do the marking for all 4, and then I'll show you what it looks like. This is what it looks like after I marked all 4 areas on that one canvas. So once I've marked all 4 areas, I'm going to push done. And now you can see that they're here. Let's see if we can make this smaller so you guys can see. Okay, so you can see that all 4 areas that were marked on that canvas are right here. So now I'm just going to have to put these in. So as you guys can see, I have the painted part at the top and then the non-painted part at the bottom. So I'm just going to need to put in these on this side like this. If I want to do, maybe I'll do these first and then put the image on there. So then I'm just going to size it down so that it fits within this area. Now that I have them all sized down to fit within the areas that I marked, I'm going to just double check everything else. So it has user defined material. I'm just going to leave it at that. I already did the distance. I'm going to leave it on auto planning. And then I already marked it. So then each one I'm just going to make sure. So this one still says engrave for both. This also says engrave for both. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this process. I'm going to close the lid. And I'm going to hit start. Make sure you put on your safety goggles if you're going to be watching this. So once it's ready, you're going to hit the blue button to start the operation in the front of your S1. And then it says do not leave the device unattended when it's working. So then I'll come back to you guys with a few shots of seeing how it's going as well as how long it took to do this. So right now it's doing that test array, materials test array on the paint portion. Okay, so I had to stop it because I noticed once it got to these lower ones, it literally started to burn. Like I can see fire. I don't know if you could see that it literally ate through the whole canvas. So it looks like if you're doing, okay, so lower speeds, lower power is not it. Because it actually looks like it started to burn right here too. So it looks like the settings might do better if it's more up here. So you can see the blue here. These are like more white, but then you can see the blue through these ones. So I think that I don't want to mess up my machine and it catch fire. So what I'm going to do now is, instead of finishing these test arrays, I am going to go over here and do the tigers on the undefined settings, and I'm going to just try to use something up here in this range. Okay, so I'm just going to now just engrave the images. I think I got a gist of what would work best. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to do engrave, power at 100, speed at 250, pass 1. I'm going to do the bitmap mode to Floyd, and then I'm going to do 220 lines per centimeter, and I'm going to do that for both. So once that's done, I'm going to do process, and then I'm going to hit start. Make sure you close your lid. And then once it's ready, you'll hit the blue button in the front, and then we'll see how this goes. I will stop it again if it does the thing that it might catch fire. Make sure you put on your safety goggles. So this is what it's looking like so far. And I do, like I said before, I hooked up my inline fan, so I'm using that too, just to see if that helps with the getting all the debris and stuff out more efficiently and not have the room get all smelly. It's almost done. Halfway through the unpainted canvas. Alright, so it took about 19 minutes, so exactly would be 18 minutes 40 seconds. And this is how it turned out. So I think it turned out good. Reminder that I stopped doing the test array on here because it started burning towards these lower power, lower speeds. But anyways, so this is on the painted. So as you guys saw, I did 4 layers. So it looks like this is the layer on top. So this is the black. And then this is the, let me start from the first layer. So the first layer was the white. So you can see this kind of like in the outlines. And then the second layer was this like light blue. And then the third layer was this tin color. And then the fourth layer was the black. So I think that looks pretty good for just a test. I'm going to try inverting it because I've seen people say they've inverted it and it looks better that way. So I'm going to try that way. And then this is the same image, same settings, just on the board, the panel board, without any paint at all. So I did nothing to it. I think that looks pretty good. So this was just a test just to see how I could possibly do engraving on a board, or I should say a canvas board. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and stay blessed. Take care.